Couple things. Felt good being back in Reynolds. I know let's start with this because I know we'll get these things. I always love it this time of year when we play in Reynolds because the first thing is, why don't you play in Reynolds more? And then, boy, those jerseys, man, you guys really know how to poke fun and mess with the fan base. But like, oh, these are so good. I know you guys are sending them pictures out talking about with the state across it, and everybody saying, oh, why don't we wear these things? So let's start with that. Reynolds is a great place, and we enjoy it. And would we play more games in here if we could? Yes. But we got so many season ticket holders, and unfortunately, when they cut it down from, I think it was 11 to 5,000 seats, it's not a good place for us to play because we got a lot of followers in our fan base. That being said, I thought let's start off with this. I thought Coppin was really scrappy and played aggressive basketball tonight. They did a really good job. I thought they had a great game plan. I thought they came in saying, hey, we're not going to try to play fast with these guys. We're going to slow it down. And they ran most of the shot clock down. And then, unfortunately for us, I thought we did a terrible job at the end of shot clocks when they were going to take a bunch of bad shots and we fouled. I didn't think this was one of our better games. That being said, you can learn a lot from a win, instead of a loss. I just didn't think we played like we needed to. We can say, hey, did you play down to the level of competition? I would say no. I just think they controlled the tempo, and we kind of fell into that mode a little bit and got behind a little bit. But like some of the guys, I thought Ben was really good. I thought Marcus was good. I thought Dontrez's style was okay. I thought Dennis Parker Jr. came in and gave us a tremendous lift. So, questions?
How big was that second half for Dontrez after starting off 1 of 8 from the field in the first half?
I thought it was good, Corey. Just for him to see the ball to go in the hole. I thought he had some great looks, and it just didn't go. And the one thing I like about him is I like his mentality now. He's not hanging his head. He's still being aggressive. Early on in the year when he would miss those shots, he would hang his head. And, you guys know this. I've coached the likes of Taquavion Smith and Jarkel Joyner. They don't think they're ever going to miss, even if they miss 10. And I want a guy like Dontrez to kind of get to that mode. Hey, on the sideline, the coach that you're playing for, he doesn't care about that. He just wants you to stay confident.
Along the lines of Joyner and Smith, they also had endless energy. How much do you kind of look for that in particular games like this? But obviously you saw almost peak energy against Texas, and you'll need that kind of effort against Kansas.
Yeah, I'm an energy guy. One of the things, and I think, guys who've covered me know this, you can miss every shot, not every shot, but you can miss most of your shots, but you have to play with great energy. And I think having a guy like Dennis Parker back as a guy who's been in the program for a couple of years who knows how to play. Some of these guys that's in our program, the newer guys, are still learning how to play for NC State. And what I mean by that is we compete hard every day. Our energy is always high, and it's going to take a little time for these guys to get to that point.
Speaking of Dennis, what was it like to see him come back and kind of seems like he's a lot closer to being what he was last year than the United States.
Man, it's great. He's been so frustrated. He and I have had a couple meetings, and he's just frustrated. And I heard him over there said he sprung 3 ankles. I was like, you only got 2, but he cleared it up. But just to see him, get back out there and play, it was weird because he turned his ankle, and then I was like, he turned it again. I was like, is it the same one? And the trainer says, no, it's a different one. Okay, it was the other one. And then every time in practice, we would get him back, and then 2 days into practice, he would do something, he would turn his ankle. And so just trying to keep him healthy. We've tried every shoe. As you guys know, I'm about to go back to the old school where they're above the ankles, and these guys are wearing these low tops, and we're taping them and bracing them, and he still was turning it. But it's good to have him back out there because he gives us something at his size that we don't have in there. Without a Mike James, we were out without Mike James with length and also with Dennis, and so we became really small on our perimeter. Now, the next question is, when's Mike James coming back? I don't know. He's trending. He's getting better. He's doing some more, a little bit of individual workouts now, but I don't have a timetable when he's going to play.
Going back to Reynolds Coliseum, what does this place mean to you, and What does it mean to be able to coach here?
Well, it's special. You know, my press conference was here. You know, I said Kevin Keatts is a winner, and we did. We won the ACC championship, just so you know. It's a great place. It's an electric place. I mean, you get, you know, every time I come in here, and when you walk through in the entrance and you see the history of NC State, it's tremendous. It's a basketball place, and you know, I'll go back to this, man. Would we play more games here? Absolutely, would love to. If we can figure out how to get about 5,000 more seats in here, we can figure it out. Maybe we go to standing room only, and we can do that. They do it at concerts, but they take over the floor. So.
Coach Trey Parker, I believe 11 minutes. Can
Yeah.
you speak a little bit about his progression and then a little bit about Paul McNeil and his progress?
Yeah, I'm trying to get those guys as much minutes as I can so those guys can grow. You know, when you got freshmen, you know, you try to steal minutes so it will pay off later in the season. And I think Trey is going to be really good for us. You know, you know, as a freshman, as a point guard, they'll make you scratch your head a couple of times because they're fearless and he tries a little bit different things. But I love his confidence. And Paul is starting to, and I'll talk about Bryce too. Paul is starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. You know, coming into the summer, he was the one guy that wasn't as comfortable as the other two guys for some reason. But now he's starting to find his groove. He's getting in better shape. And the same thing with Bryce. I think both of them are growing. And, you know, we're putting them in situations in practice where they can grow and trying to put them into some games. I'm still, you know, even, you know, with this game right here, I played, you know, every 14 scholarship guys because I wanted all of them to get some action, you know.
Feels like we see a different Brandon Huntley outfield ever since you came back from San Diego. What's kind of gone into that, you think?
I think guys go up and down. You know, we just think about this in San Diego. You guys were saying, you know, some people were saying is Marcus Hill and Dontrez Stout not good enough. Matter of fact, you asked me about that. He asked me about that and says people say ain't good enough, but now you see those guys. So it's going to be, you know, that guy's a proven guy in the ACC. He'll be better. Unfortunately, you know, players don't have bad games all the time, and they don't have great games all the time. And so with this group, one of the things I'm trying to do is get everybody to be consistent. Right now, the two guys who have been the most consistent right now is Marcus and also Trez. You know, I got to get Michael playing better. You know, Michael's not making his free throws. He's not doing those type of things, and we got to get him back to. I may have to tell him it's March. If I tell him it's March, then he'll turn into a great player.
But Brandon is healthy, right?
He is.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. I mean, just trying to get into a flow. And, you know, certain games, you know, you can't judge guys on. I mean, think about the Florida State game. They did a tremendous job on all of our post guys. You know, we were able to drive their bigs, but their guards, because they're so big, they fronted the post. And we had a hard time getting the ball inside, but our guys followed the game plan. We wanted to drive and kick, and we got some great shots off of that.
You mentioned San Diego. BYU used zone that kind of seemed to cause fits, and then Coppin State used it today. What do you think is kind of, you know, leading to the offense kind of struggling against that?
I don't. I just think we missed a lot of shots today. And listen, don't take it for granted. I know you guys, we don't get in this building a lot. We've only been in here one time to shoot. Now, that's no excuse because sometimes you go on the road and you play great and you never go in the building and all that other stuff. We just, at the end of the day, we didn't make some shots that we made the other day. We didn't make them tonight. And that's just what it was. And I thought Coppin was scrappy. And, you know, with us, I would say this to our guys is I told them, hey, don't play their record. Just play the team, and it's natural. You know, people look out there and say they hadn't won a game, and so maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not saying it did, but that possibly played into it.
Kind of a weird night for Jaden Taylor, a guy that's usually so aggressive, only 2 shots on the night for him, 15 minutes played. Your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, he wasn't very active today. And, you know, we'll have some conversation over the next couple of days. And these guys will be off. And then, obviously, we got 2 days to prepare to go to Kansas. But he just, once again, Corey, he just didn't have a good game. And sometimes it just happens that way.
So Michael, Jaden, and Brandon all combined for just 4 points. So what does a win like this say about the rest of your squad? I mean, you can have 3 of your front 6 have a horrible night and still get a win.
Yeah, it says that we can't have that happen very often. We got to figure that out. That ain't. Say it again because I need to tell me who it was so I can go back to
It was Brandon, Jaden, and Michael.
Yeah, we can't do that. It can't happen. We got to do better. But To answer your question and give you a fair answer, it's good that some other guys played well and contributed, but at the end of the day, you need your players to play, and we got to get those guys playing better.
You have pretty consistently, scheduled an HBCU, at least one time, in the seasons that you've been here, sometimes more. How important is that for you?
I think it's important. I mean, I didn't go to a historical black college, but, to have the opportunity to, bring those guys in and help them. I mean, you think about Coppin. I mean, think about their situation. That team right there has been on the road, I think, 11 straight games. And it's tough because, I want to make sure that, a team like Coppin, we can, pay them revenue to come in here and play us because they take care of the entire athletic department. And that's a tough deal. And just to make sure that we can do that, it means a lot to me just to have the opportunity to do that every year.
You mentioned what Reynolds means to you. What do you tell the players that never played here before? What did you tell them about Reynolds? I
just told them how electric the building is. I told them it's, it's historical. You can tell them a lot of things, and most of them have been through Reynolds because when we recruited them, we bring them through here on a recruiting visit so they can able to see it. But we just talk about the legacy of this place, the coaches that have been in here, the players that played in here, and it's a great venue. It is. It's I don't know that there's a venue in the country that's its size. It's better. This place is great. I mean, it looks great in there.
Thanks, Coach.